Chicago's most treasured residential areas, with its tree-lined streets, stately homes, and connection to the city's past. The Gold Coast neighborhood started as early as the 1800s as the Astor Street District and was named after one of the richest people in the world, John Jacob Astor. The Gold Coast neighborhood extends from North Avenue south to Oak Street and the lake as far west as Clark Street. In 1882, millionaire Potter Palmer moved to the area. He fell in a swampy area due to the Chicago fire, which later became known as Lakeshore Drive, and he also built the Palmer Mansion. It was designed by Henry Ives Cobb and Charles Sumner Frost. One of the residents in the Gold Coast neighborhood is the only survived child of Abraham Lincoln, Robert Todd Lincoln, and the district was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1978.
As of 2011, the Gold Coast is the 7th richest neighborhood in the country, and an overall median household income of over $150,000. So you got to be rich to live.
What was
in the
that last number?
Over $150,000, a median income household. Like your income has to be that much in order to live here. Condos and houses can reach up to $5 million, and that's kind of cheap around here to live in the neighborhood. You have to have actually a membership to live in the district, so you have to be a member to live in the district. And then there's also patrolmen that walk around from 6 to 4 a.m. They just take care of the whole district.
So these are non-Chicago police?
Yes.
Private security?
Yeah, they're just patrolmen that walk around. It's a mixture of mansions, houses, and high-rise apartments. Some of the highlights include, like she said, Astor Street, and then the James Charlie House. Wealthy families help bring up the status of the area, giving it a reputation as a neighborhood of influential citizens who are proud of the neighborhood that they live in. Today's Gold Coast retains all the reputation that it has enjoyed over the last century, since it kind of started from rubble and they brought it up into this big district. So today's owners and residents appreciate this legacy, and they strive to enhance the presence of the neighborhood.
Our next presentation, ladies and gentlemen.
So these houses were designed in the 1800s by John Wellborn Root. Some background information: he moved to Chicago in 1871, where he was employed as a draftsman for an architectural firm. Root developed the floating raft system, which was interlaced steel beams to create a foundation, so these houses won't sink in the marshy area back in the day. His work in his prime years became national landmarks, National Register of Historical Places, and Chicago landmarks. Most of these houses, the one he lived in is somewhere around here. Whichever one it is. But the one he designed himself, most of these houses he did with his partner, William Burnham. Most of them had over 5 bedrooms, and a lot of them had their unique possibilities with them. So each one of them is unique in their own way.
Alright, so this house here is the only house that's for sale. And what was the price?
$6 million.
$6 million for this beautiful house. Dino at the Circus. Sold. $6 million. Was that going to continue?
That was it.
That was it? Let's put it.
So in 1978, they converted all of these to 12 condominiums that are worth only $3.1 million each. It's not that bad. It also at one point in time was a school up until the 70s. It closed because of financial issues. It was a private school.
That's funny.
Say that again. What happened?
It was a private school up until the 70s. It closed because of financial issues.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
So now it's just separate condo units.
Yes. Oh yeah. 12
So they
condos.
took this massive building and just made it with the units.
Yeah. They're condos now. Low price of $3.1 million.
Itself is nice with its colorful bricks and detailed trim. But this is a known residence of Abraham Lincoln's son, Robert Todd Lincoln, the younger Lincoln President Law School in Chicago. Right. practiced law school in Chicago.
Robert Todd Lincoln was an American politician, lawyer, and a businessman. He was the first son of President Abraham Lincoln, born in Springfield. He was the only one of Lincoln's 4 sons to live to adulthood.
Lincoln attended Harvard University and then finished his law school in Chicago, and that's where he lives. And that's it.
Alright, this building right here is the Archbishop Residence. The address of this building is 1555 North State Parkway.
It was built in 1885, and it's the largest and best preserved building of its type in Chicago. It has 19 chimneys. Inside, there's a small chapel, sitting rooms, rooms for resident priests and guests, a kitchen, and a dining room.
Before this was built, the Archbishop's residence was located at LaSalle and North Avenue, the corner over there. This was designed by Major James H. Willett. He was a partner of the architectural firm of Alfred F. Ashley.
President Franklin Roosevelt spent the night here. The current Archbishop does not live here. He lives in a church in Chicago.
Pope John Paul II was the first pope to ever have stayed here overnight. And 2 cardinals who were going to become pope also stayed here, which they were Pope Pius the 12th and Pope Paul VI. And a fun fact, there's 19 chimneys on this one building.
That's cool.
And, yeah, that's about it.
We have the Mather House. It is also known as the Graham Foundation for the Studies of Fine Arts. Since 1963, the Graham Foundation has been located in the Mather House, which is a 9,000 square foot prairie-style building, and it is located in the Gold Coast neighborhood.
Founded in 1956, the Graham Foundation for Advanced Studies in the Fine Arts provides grants to individuals and organizations to help develop diverse ideas about art, culture, and society.
It was built during 1901 and 1902 for Albert Madler and his wife Elsa Madler, both of whom come from prominent Chicago families who emigrated from Germany.
The architecture was inspired by Carl Friedrich Schnickel for its neoclassical design. It is known for its clarity and its dignity yet simplicity, made it seem like a modern-day Renaissance art.
The building was actually built by Albert's brother-in-law.
And this is known as one of the finest works by Richard B. Schmidt. And in 1970, it was placed in the National Registry for houses.
In 1973, the house was put under protection of the Chicago Ordinance that protected all historical buildings in the city.
This is the original mansion. It was the first Playboy mansion. It was a 70-room classic French brick and limestone residence. It was built in 1899 for Dr. George Isham. Then in 1959, Hugh Hefner acquired it. Hugh Hefner had a big open space basement he called his grotto, and he had a swimming pool made in there with a glass wall. The door did have a brass plate on it with a Latin inscription of "Hi, how are you?" Of a Latin inscription. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it said, "If you don't swing, don't ring." Hefner left permanently after being hassled over alleged cocaine usage by Illinois Governor James R. Thompson. They then turned this into a dormitory for the Art Institute of Chicago. And in 1993, the mansion was gutted and turned into a four high price luxury condo. In 2011, one condo was placed for sale at $6.7 million, and now this is for sale at the whole mansion is for sale at the price of $14.5 million after they gutted it out again.
So it's gutted out right now?
No, they redid it, but they gutted it out again to redo it, and they made it out for sale at $14.5 million.
Okay.
So, the beginning of Lincoln Park started as actually, it was a burial ground for people who had smallpox. They had to get rid of the bodies in an area where they wouldn't be located. Around 25 to 30 years after that, it was turned into an actual cemetery for the richer of Chicago. In 1836, land was being sold by acre for $150. Now, a half an acre in Lincoln Park will sell for around $3.2 million for a half an acre. In 1874, Lincoln Park Zoo was opened.
Today, the population is 64,000. There are 6 basketball courts, softball fields, and soccer fields, 35 tennis courts, 163 volleyball courts. There's a field house, an archery range, golf courses and a driving range, and then many harbors and boating facilities. There's also a nature museum, and then a Chicago History museum in Lincoln Park.
And then just for CTA, the lines that you can get into from the Fullerton station is the CTA's red, brown, and purple line.